and video conference without the requirement of a physically present quorum of the Rock Island City Council due to the disaster declaration issued by Governor Pritzker. Because of this order related to COVID-19 health concerns affecting the state and the city, the mayor has determined that an in-person meeting at City Hall with all participants may not be practical or prudent. Alderpersons and staff may not all be physically present at City Hall due to the disaster, and physical attendance at City Hall may be limited. To participate remotely during the public comment or public hearing portion of this meeting, please join by phone at 1-401-646-243, PIN 474-798-487#.
Thank you very much. Roll call.
Alderperson Robinson.
Present.
Hurt.
Here.
Gilbert.
Present.
Swanson.
Here.
Parker.
Here.
Poulos.
Here.
Healy.
Here.
Mayor Tomes.
Here. Okay. If we could stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, remain standing for a moment of silence, please.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Public comment. Nothing, so nobody signed up for public comment. Is there anybody virtual for public comment?
So in the steering committee fax online, it said that the hearing started at 6:45 tonight. So I don't know if anybody
Okay, yes,
here
appreciate
to
that.
talk about the SSA.
Is there anybody in the audience that'd like to speak that maybe didn't sign up? Anybody want to public comment for whatever issue? Anybody in the audience? Seeing none. All right. We're on to item number 7.
Minutes from the October 10th, 2022 study session and city council meeting.
Motion to approve the minutes as printed. Second.
Move to second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Alderperson Healy.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye.
Hurt.
Yes.
Gilbert.
Aye.
Swanson.
Aye.
Parker.
Aye.
Poulos.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 8, update Rock Island. I have a couple items here. Fright Night in the Park. Come to Schwiebert Riverfront Park this Thursday, October 27th, from 5 to 7 p.m. for trick-or-treating, music, and dancing. Presented by Goodwill of the Heartland, there will also be a costume contest and goodie bag give-out. Attention all ghosts, goblins, and witches. Halloween trick-or-treating for the city of Rock Island is Monday, October 31st, from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. As always, be safe and have fun. The 25th annual Freeze Lit Lecture Series is underway at the Rock Island Public Library. The next lecture, led by Dr. Lauren Hammond, Associate History Professor at Augustana College, will examine the idea and impact of the 1619 project by Nicole Hannah Jones, who won the 2020 Pulitzer Prize for commentary on the project. Wow. The free lecture takes place at 2 p.m. on October 27th in the community room of the Downtown Library, 401 19th Street. Is your child car seat installed properly in your vehicle? The Rock Island Fire Department will host its last community child car seat inspection on Saturday, November 5th from 9 a.m. to noon. The event takes place at the Rock Island Fire Station at 1313 5th Avenue. The City of Rock Island congratulates Community and Economic Development Director Miles Brainerd, who has been named to the 40 Under 40 list, published by the Quad City Regional Business Journal. Yes. Ooh. Congratulations. The event is November 10th, if people wish to go to the event. The city also congratulates Fire Chief Jeff Yerke and Police Officer Bree Lonergan.
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 Lagren Thank you, everyone. Being named by Community Caring Conference as the Community Heroes, which is also November 10th, that event. So look forward to that. Item number 9.
An ordinance regarding a land donation of 23 parcels in southwest Rock Island from Riverstone Group for $1 plus closing costs, second reading.
Motion to pass the ordinance.
Second.
Moved and second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Alderperson Healy.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye.
Hertz.
Aye.
Gilbert.
Hey,
Swanson.
Aye.
Parker.
Aye.
Pulis.
Aye. Item number 10.
Mayor Tomes will close a regular meeting and open a public hearing on a request from Skylar Willingham of Skylight Luxury Lounge, LLC, for a waiver of the signature requirement to secure a liquor license at 1325 30th Street, Rock Island.
All right. Close a regular meeting. Open a public hearing. Is there anybody that wishes to speak in regards to this? For or against? Come on up. Come on up, right the microphone up there. Here you go. Might have to pull that down, but it moves.
Right. I wish to speak against it. I reside on 14th Avenue and 30th Street, so I'm directly in view of the property. Within our location up there, there's 7 different bars already. The traffic, the infrastructure as far as parking up there is terrible. Coming out of the alleys within that few block radius, they're blind alleys. So when you get parking down 14th Avenue, it's already cumbersome to try to get out safely. Radical Effects is already there. There's not a lot of parking in that area. When Cool Beans was there, you had a lot more foot traffic from Augustana. The traffic was split up between the daytime. Now you're going to have conflicting with both bars open at the same time. I feel like that's going to bring a lot more traffic, a lot more potential, with any alcohol-driven offenses, whether it's crime, whether it's just ruckus. For being a taxpayer right up there, I don't see that we need to have another establishment serving alcohol within such close quarters.
Could you mind stating your name just so we have it for the record?
Yes, Tara Pollock, P-O-L-E-K.
Thank you. I didn't mean to cut you off. I just want to get that in.
I feel like without a better parking structure up there or wider roads, it gets narrow when you have cars parking on both sides of the street within 14th Avenue. I've watched accidents happen from my front door, and I know my neighbors I have a big truck, so it's easy for me to come out of my alley, but people with smaller cars, if you have parking on both sides of the road, you're set up for failure there with an accident. And like I said, the crime aspect of things worries me. I do live alone, so I don't have any problems with Radical as it stands. They're closing early, but I feel like adding another direct bar right there is going to cause issues.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Skylar, I don't know if you want to say anything or?
Hello, I'm Skylar Willingham. I'm the owner of Skylight Luxury Lounge. Skylight Luxury Lounge will be a wine bar. Our focus, I am asking for a full liquor license, but the focus will be wine. I will be closing at 11 Monday through Thursday. Later hours will be just on Friday and Saturday, and that will be at 1 a.m. As far as security, I will have security enforced on Friday and Saturday. With certain events, if it's a bigger event that I'm hosting, if need be, off-duty officers or a security service, I will pay for to have. On hand, parking, I have noticed just between, with Radical Effect behind me and things of that nature, it gets a little shaky up there. But I'm looking to have some support from the other businesses that are around me that are not open later in the evening. But if there's any, safety is my biggest concern as well. I don't condone or want any ruckus to be brought up to that area. Excuse me, I'm a little shaky, I'm a little nervous.
It's fine.
But that is the main focus, and I do understand that there are residents that live around in that area. And that's the point of me wanting to join the Hilltop District too, to kind of get away from some of the other things that we do see go on in the local bars around in our area.
Okay. Any questions? Anybody have questions? Over?
Just one question. You're requesting a waiver of the signature requirement. Is there a reason that you couldn't get the signatures?
Right across from me is a Rock Island, the city's property. So that was one of the requirements. And then I did go knocking on doors and also sent certified letters out to some of the residents, and I just never got a response back.
Have you talked to any of the businesses up there with regard to parking? Are they willing to work with you?
Yes. I've spoken with Radical and my neighbors. I am reaching out to Jasper. I just haven't heard back from him. He's the owner of Curry. That's directly across the street.
Right,
He
they're
has-
hard to get a hold of, so I've tried to get a hold of them
Yeah.
myself, so.
And then also Bowman's Accounting over there, he also allows Radical's customers to use that parking lot. So I was going to see if I could work in a deal with him where we can have a compromise, maybe even if I pay a little extra to utilize his parking lot.
Thank you.
How many signatures did you get of the?
The total number, it was more than half, I believe. And there was a total of, for the requirement, I think I had to get about, was it 15, 16, something around in there.
I saw Mr. Mapes signed your, you're all good. Have you talked to Mr. Mapes over at Happy Joe's, seeing if he would be willing to?
I didn't speak to him directly about parking right away. It was kind of hard to get a hold of him too. I had actually went and met with him at the East Moline location and made him aware of what I was doing.
And if I was reading it right, you're wanting to serve food there as well?
Yes, so during the day hours, I will offer some more lighter, like lunch items, as well as like charcuterie boards to match up with the wine later in the evening, or some fruit bowls and some desserts.
So your business plan, are you going more for the food, or are you going more for the evening wine tasting, or what?
More of the wine tasting, but it will be 50-50, just as far as what the zoning and what the requirements are of me.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Okay. Anybody else out there wish to speak in favor or opposed? Virtually? Was there, did you want to talk to the chief? Is it?
Well, I think he was looking up
Oh.
the signature requirement.
The
It's on the,
report from Lieutenant Morris is attached if Lieutenant Morris, or Tim wants to click on it.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
You're okay.
Yeah, I had actually looked at this earlier. It's a part of your, it's towards the bottom of it.
Right, I just want it on the record.
Sure. There's two parts that have to be satisfied. There's if you look, there's a map that's required signatures. On that, quickly looking over this, she was able to get 7 of the 9 required. Quickly reading this. And then there's a total of, you have to have a majority. And there were a total of 12 listed properties for additional frontage. She was able to get, looks like 2 of those. And then at the conclusion of the report, there was a total of 21 properties. The applicant therefore needs a minimum of 11 properties. The applicant was able to get a total of 9. So out of she needed 11, she got 9. Okay?
Great, thank you, chief.
and the city's one of them, which then automatically throws it a mandatory
I was just
to
gonna.
be in front of us, just for public.
You did pretty good,
Yep, it's exactly, it's very difficult to do, unfortunately,
yeah.
very difficult.
So I just wanted that in the record for her benefit.
Okay, anything, unless you got something else you wish to say, you're more than willing. Well,
No, just thank you for your time.
Oh, you bet. Anybody else? Anybody want to speak on this? Seeing none, I will close the public hearing and reconvene the regular meeting and entertain a motion.
I will make a motion to recommend that the mayor and liquor commissioner waive the signature requirement as requested and approve the liquor license.
Second.
Moved in second, any discussion? Roll call.
Alderperson Healy.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye.
Hurt.
Aye.
Gilbert.
Aye.
Swanson.
Aye.
Parker.
Aye.
Alderperson Parker.
Aye.
Poulos.
Aye.
He did say aye.
I heard him.
Okay,
Yep, motion carries.
thank you.
See Naomi tomorrow.
Item number 11.
Consent agenda.
Motion to approve consent agenda items A through E.
Second.
Moved in second. Any discussion?
I got a quick question about item D. Tim, is there any way for us to include See, Click, Fix with this SIF Plus subscription that we have? Because that's what we're renewing for C, the IT, or I'm sorry, D.
D. I was like, oh God, somebody got the agenda wrong again. On me.
You looking for Tim to answer?
Yes.
Nope. Tim?
I'm out of the corner.
Talking about D,
Yes.
that particular item is for City Works, which is the primary application the Public Works uses to track work orders and special action requests, assets, and so forth.
So I guess what I'm adding in there, so it's included with the SIF Plus software, right? Is that what I read, right? That's not this one?
No.
Sorry.
No problem.
But thanks for bringing it up again.
I'll bring it up later for the other part.
Okay. We had a discussion. All those in favor, or do roll call. Oosh, there's fast ones. Roll call.
Alderperson Healy.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye.
Hurt.
Aye.
Gilbert.
Aye.
Swanson.
Aye.
Parker.
Aye.
Pulis.
Aye.
Item number 12.
Claim, report from the Public Works Department regarding payment to McClintock Trucking and Excavating of Silvis, Illinois, in the amount of $56,464.79 for repair at multiple locations as part of the Water Service Repair Project 2526 and Sewer Lateral Repair Project 2564 programs.
Move to allow the claim.
Second.
Moved in second. Any discussion? Roll
Due to
call.
the nature of my employment, I need to recuse myself.
Thank you. Roll call.
Alderperson Healy.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye.
Hurt.
Aye.
Gilbert.
Aye.
Swanson.
Aye.
Pulis.
Aye.
Item 13.
Report from the Finance Department regarding bids for audit services from 2022 through 2026, recommending the bid be awarded to Lauterbach and Amann in the amount of $316,000.
Move to accept the bid as recommended.
Second.
Moved in second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Alderperson Healy.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye.
Hurt.
Aye.
Gilbert.
Aye.
Swanson.
Aye.
Parker.
Aye.
Pulis.
Aye.
Item 14.
Report from the Public Works Department regarding bids for the motor fuel tax-funded reconstruction of 46th Street at 37th Avenue, recommending the bid be awarded to 5 Cities Construction of Coal Valley, Illinois, in the amount of $442,605.80.
Motion to award the bid and authorize the city manager to execute the contract documents.
Second.
Moved in second. Any discussion?
Due to the nature of my employment, I also need to recuse myself from this one.
Thank you. Roll call.
Alderperson Healy.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye.
Hurt.
Aye.
Gilbert.
Aye.
Swanson.
Aye.
Pulis.
Aye.
Item 15.
Report from the Public Works Department regarding a contract to conduct a market analysis for Sunset Marina with Edgewater Resources of Madison, Wisconsin, in the amount of $24,000.
Motion to authorize the city manager to execute the contract.
Second.
Is that Gilbert or Swanson? Gilbert.
Gilbert.
Okay.
Moved in second. Any discussion? Thank you. Roll call.
Alderperson Healy.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye.
Hurt.
Aye.
Gilbert.
Aye.
Swanson.
Aye.
Parker.
Aye.
Pulis.
Aye.
Item 16.
Report from the Public Works Department regarding a contract with H.G. Green of Cedar Rapids, Iowa, to provide professional services for funding assistance in order to provide standby power for the city's water infrastructure.
Move to award the contract and authorize the city manager to execute the contract documents.
Second.
Moved in second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Alderperson Healy.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye.
Hurt.
Aye.
Gilbert.
Aye.
Swanson.
Aye.
Parker.
Aye.
Pulis.
Aye.
Item 17.
Report from the Public Works Department regarding an amendment to the existing intergovernmental service agreement with the Rock Island Arsenal.
Motion to approve IGSA Amendment 2 and authorize the mayor to execute the document.
Moved in second. Any discussion?
Due to the nature of my employment, I need to recuse myself.
Roll call.
Alderperson Healy.
Aye.
Hurt.
Aye.
Gilbert.
Aye.
Swanson.
Aye.
Parker.
Aye.
Pulis.
Aye.
Item 18.
Report from the Information Technology Department regarding a recommendation to authorize the consultant firm Plant Moran, Chicago, Illinois, to conduct an enterprise resource planning, needs assessment, selection of the software, and contract negotiations for city software replacement in an amount not to exceed $95,220.
Move to authorize the city manager to execute the agreement.
Second.
Moved in second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Alderperson Healy.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye.
Hurt.
Aye.
Gilbert.
Aye.
Swanson.
Aye.
Parker.
Aye.
Pulis.
Aye.
Item 19.
Report from the Finance Department regarding an adjustment to the CY 2022 budget, increasing the Public Works Department Fleet Fund 601 revenue and expense budgets for CY 2022 by $400,000 and decreasing the general fund expense budget by $400,000.
Move to approve the budget adjustment as recommended.
Second.
Moved in second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Alderperson Healy.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye.
Hurt.
Aye.
Gilbert.
Aye.
Swanson.
Aye.
Parker.
Aye.
Pulis.
Item number 20.
Report from the Finance Department regarding an adjustment to the CY 2022 budget, increasing the general fund revenue and expenses budgets by $8,000 to purchase fencing materials.
Motion to approve the budget adjustment as recommended.
Second.
Moved in second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Alderperson Healy.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye.
Hurt.
Aye.
Gilbert.
Aye.
Swanson.
Aye.
Parker.
Aye.
Pulis.
Aye.
Item 21.
Report from the Finance Department regarding an adjustment to the CY 2022 budget, increasing the revenues and expenditures of the Illinois Public Health Association Fund 903 by $49,500 as a result of a grant awarded to the Martin Luther King Jr. Center.
Motion to approve the budget adjustment as recommended.
Second.
Moved in second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Alderperson Healy.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye.
Hurt.
Aye.
Gilbert.
Aye.
Swanson.
Aye.
Parker.
Aye.
Pulis.
Aye.
Item 22.
Report from the Community and Economic Development Department regarding the write-off of uncollectible commercial industrial revolving loan fund, CURLIF, program loans totaling $761,391.69.
Motion to approve the write-off of uncollectible CURLIF loan balances.
Second.
Moved in second. Any discussion?
I would like to say that I am on this board, and just so the public knows, most of these loans that we are talking about, I mean, we're writing off a loan from 1993 on here. The newest loan that we're writing off is from 2017. Most of these loans are 20 years old that we're writing off, so no one here was really associated with that.
And most are bankruptcies.
They are.
A fair amount, yeah.
They're most bankruptcies, and there's more to come.
I was going to say,
So,
this isn't the end.
This is not the end.
My question for Miles.
Yes, I can tell you, seeing through this is nowhere near the end. And this helps us get to a better place. Miles, go for it.
So there are more to come, correct?
Possibly. So there was a answer to a question that was asked about a larger number that had been previously shared with the council. About 1.2 million was the total. I believe the city manager now has a breakdown of that remaining difference between the amount we're talking about tonight and that 1.2. But very briefly, the difference between the 750,000 we're talking about tonight and the 1.2 is made up of loans that we're still hoping that we might be able to send to collections and get something back for. So there's a little bit of debt there we're hoping we can still maybe collect, or we're exploring legal options for collections in some other manner. It may well be that a good chunk of that remaining portion will ultimately need to be written off as uncollectible. Again, bankruptcies will be a big part of that. But that's what that difference is. So we're still trying to collect anything we possibly can, but as the memo tonight points out, the nature of CURLIF as a program is such that there's a higher risk of this sort of thing happening.
And do you want to comment on for the public that, you've rewritten all the policies and
Yep.
procedures?
Yep. So again, as Alderman Healy pointed out, a lot of these are much older and were made not only by different staff and approved by different councils in different ways, but were also approved through a different set of policies and procedures, which really probably didn't have sufficient protections for the city and, of course, by extension, for the taxpayers. This council did the good work of not too long ago approving a new set of policies and procedures, which add some additional safeguards. This includes some additional underwriting work to try to vet borrowers and make sure that they are in a good position to borrow. Again, a lot of the folks we're hoping will take advantage of CURLIF are folks who are just starting out, new entrepreneurs who are looking to take a little bit more risk opening their business here in Rock Island. There's risk there for us too. But as far as economic development goes in a community like Rock Island, we need to be willing to put some of that kind of on the line.
Thank you.
Yep.
Any further discussion?
Thank you, Miles.
Yes, thank you. Roll call, please.
Alderperson Healy.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye.
Hurt.
Aye.
Gilbert.
Aye.
Swanson.
Aye.
Parker.
Aye.
Pulis.
Aye.
Item 23,
Report from the Community and Economic Development Department regarding approval of a housing rehabilitation project located at 1830 32nd Street in the amount of $148,402.
Move to approve the project and delegate authority to the city manager to execute the contracts.
Second.
move to second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Alderperson Healy.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye.
Hurt.
Aye.
Gilbert.
Aye.
Swanson.
Aye.
Parker.
Aye.
Pulis.
Aye.
Item 24,
Report from the Community and Economic Development Department regarding a resolution establishing a grant pass-through with the Quad Cities Chamber of Commerce.
Move to adopt the resolution establishing a pass-through for the two stated grants.
Second.
Second.
move to second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Alderperson Healy.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye.
Hurt.
Aye.
Gilbert.
Aye.
Swanson.
Aye.
Parker.
Aye.
Pulis.
Item 25,
Report from General Administration regarding a resolution declaring support for the Rock Island Regional Port District.
Motion to adopt the resolution as recommended.
Second.
moved and seconded. Discussion. If you don't mind, I'd like to have Denise Pulek come up and talk briefly about it. She's been intimately involved with this, along with myself and a few others. Then we ask her any questions or anything else.
Yes. I think almost all of you know that we created a port statistical area for 15 counties in Iowa and Illinois to raise the stature of our upper Mississippi River and to support the Rock Island District Corps of Engineers. However, that port statistical area, that designation is not recognized by the state of Illinois for grants. So if we create a port district that's recognized in Illinois, you have the ability to apply for grants for any of your publicly owned facilities here in Rock Island to support port development. And you already own a facility that you lease to Alter, and you can actually make improvements with grants to that leased property. That's in the discussion of the legislation, and it's common in other port districts throughout the state of Illinois. The other thing that we're doing is we're not creating another board. You are the board for all the decisions that would be made within your jurisdiction. Then if another local government, like Moline, would like to be added into the port district, they could be added in, you'd vote, and they'd vote as a council, and then any decisions within their corporate boundaries would be made by their city council. So again, attempting to not create another layer of government, but make those grants available to you, because right now, unfortunately, we do not have a recognized port district here in the Illinois Quad Cities.
Does this involve, also could involve Sunset Marina and private?
Yes, yes. Some of the port districts in the state of Illinois actually note pleasure boats and facilities supporting pleasure boats. So obviously, that would be very helpful to Rock Island, but some of our other counterparts, adjacent counterparts.
Would it also, could it include anything associated with it, like rail, highways, everything else?
Yes, it also states all of that, too. So, and we were very careful not to step on toes. Some of the port districts in the state of Illinois have a lot of authorities. In fact, they can run airports. Obviously, we don't need to do that. We already have the Metropolitan Airport Authority to run our airport. So we were very careful not to duplicate anything that already exists here in the Quad City area, but to add to and make those grants available.
Is there any other questions?
Thank you, Denise.
Thank you very much. No other discussion? Roll call.
Alderperson Healy.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye.
Hertz.
Aye.
Gilbert.
Aye.
Swanson.
Aye.
Parker.
Aye.
And Pulis.
Aye.
Very good. All right, item 26, other business.
I will be holding a town hall meeting on this Thursday at 6 p.m. at the Martin Luther King Center, 639th Street. Welcome anyone from First Ward to attend.
Good deal. We mentioned, of course, the couple events coming up November 10th with the CCC Community Caring Conference, having the heroes and honoring a number of people in Rock Island. Chief Yorkie is being one of them, sitting in the room here, but so look forward to that, and along with 40s Under 40, November 10th also, honoring Mr. Miles. You have to choose. Unfortunately, that is an unfortunate situation that people will have to choose where to go. The public, obviously, will have to make that choice. You're going to Miles. That's great. No, appreciate that. You know, one thing I want to do is just a quick clarification, not for debate tonight or everything else, just because it was talked about with the SSA tonight and everything else, but the 44% and everything else. We got to remember that that fee of that 44% that's being used includes labor and everything else. It's much lower than if you look at just a fee, a management fee. It's much lower than that. When you add in the wages of the executive director and the ambassadors and everything else, and that's where that money comes up to. And as we know, labor in a lot of organizations is a high percentage of someone's expenses. And so that's where it's at. And it very well could be that kind of dollars, and we'll look at it, and it's under work, and they're negotiating with the chamber on a potential contract that everybody will hear or see. But whether it's with Daria or the city or anything else, there's always labor involved with that. You're going to have to hire and everything else. And so if you net that difference and take that out of it, it's much lower. It's 15% or something, but not the 44 that everybody talks about. But just for quick clarification, it's still a lot to be learned and talked about and everything else. So I'm not pushing one or the other, just a kind of a clarification so people compare apples to apples when they're looking at it. Anybody else have anything?
I know we're ready to get out of here, but I just want to have a real quick conversation about our unplugs. When we first started this ARPA discussion, we were supposed to be looking to see about doing an unplug. I mean, we have the SSA issue now. We have tons of events that we should be out talking to the constituents and really getting a dialogue, because what we did today, to me, was just not satisfactory for me. I wanted to have some dialogue with some people to ask some questions so they can get my views of why I'm saying the things I'm saying. So just long story short, I think we should move outside of this building and talk to our residents. However that happens. I mean, we have a communication director now. We have.
So I'm
we have the people
gonna
in
agree
place.
with Alderperson Robinson here. I know we have talked about some unplugged events, and where are we sitting with that? I mean, it's kind of like we talked about, then just kind of fell off. So I agree with him. I think we should maybe schedule one of those.
I agree too. I've had a number of questions from residents asking what happened to the town hall unplugged event that was supposed to happen before the final ARPA decisions. People were disappointed that that didn't occur.
I can tell you my events coordinator will kill me, but I can offer my building, so.
Oh, well, thank you.
Way to step up to the plate there.
We'll
day, so.
Her and I will work together to get something set up.
Okay.
Okay? Good?
Oh, nice of you, Bill.
Anything else for the good of the cause? That I entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second. Roll call.
Alderperson Healy.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye.
Hurt. Gilbert.
Aye.
Swanson.
Aye.
Parker.
Aye.
Pulis.